Hey guys, AirsoftPost back again, another Q&A video. This question is, what is gas? What exactly does it mean to be a gas pistol or airsoft gun? And how does gas work? So right here, I have an example of one of the gas guns I own, one of the guns we've reviewed. It's a Tokyo Marui G26, sort of subcompact gas blowback pistol. It'll work perfectly for our demonstration. So first of all, this is gas. Gas is, in the most basic scientific terms, one of the four main phases of matter, I guess you could call it. This is propane. This is what I use in all my gas airsoft guns. You can also buy specialty gas from companies which is called green gas, which is sort of a made-up term. I guess green, I don't know, somehow propane has been associated with green. But basically all the green gas is going to be is propane with a little bit of scent added that's different from what's put into these, benzomatics. This is really meant for a camping stove. And it's a waste of money, to put it bluntly. If you want to learn more about this, please watch our video on this propane adapter, which we're going to be using today, but I'm not really going to explain it too much. So basically the way a gas blowback gun works is that to shoot a BB out of an airsoft gun, you're going to need some sort of pressure behind the BB. In a Springer, the spring is going to be compressed inside a piston. When you pull the trigger, it lets the spring go. The air pressure builds up behind the BB, shoots it out of the barrel. With an AEG, the same action happens, but it can happen much faster because you're actually using a motor to compress that spring, so it can go very quickly, and that's why you can see AEGs that shoot 20 BBs a second in some extreme cases. Gas, in some ways, is arguably one of the most simple concepts, is that you just take this pressurized gas, you're going to put it in here, and it's going to come out of valve here and shoot out of the barrel behind the BB. So what does that mean? Okay, so first you have your magazine. So the gas is going to go in at this valve. It's just a one-way valve that you can see that orange nozzle and this are going to meet up. The gas is going to go in there. It's actually stored inside of this magazine. Only a very small portion of the magazine is actually dedicated to BBs. The rest of it is a little pressure cylinder where the gas is stored. To activate this gas, what's going to happen is when you just hear this little click, that click is the hammer going forward. If this magazine were gassed up and inside the gun, that hammer would hit this little valve for a very short period of time. When you push this valve out, there were gas in here. It's empty right now. Gas would come out of that little nozzle right there. Okay? And that little nozzle actually matches up very nicely to a little hole in the top of the slide. This nozzle, this hole, actually are lined up, and you can actually almost see that it's starting to look a little bit more like the pistol when it's loaded. Okay? So that little burst, it's a little puff of gas under high pressure, is going to go into the gun. It's going to do two things. One, it's going to push the slide back because this is a gas blowback pistol. If this were an NBB or non-blowback pistol, this would not happen. It's going to go in here. It's going to push this blowback chamber forward like this. And so obviously you can see I can't really do it with my finger here, but it's pushing the barrel out a little bit. And if this were gas, it would push this much further forward. The barrel would come out. Naturally, the slide would have to go somewhere. It actually goes back. And that's why when you're firing a gas blowback pistol, the cycle is like this. Gas goes in, barrel goes, slide goes back, BB fires, slide comes forward. Now actually the BB is supposed to fire before the barrel goes back, and we'll show you that right now. Part of the gas is going to go to pushing back the slide, part of the energy, and part of the energy, really not that much because it's a small, lightweight BB, and this little, that brass barrel you can see right there, is just going to push the BB right out of that barrel. Pretty simple concept, very smart engineering. So how does it work when everything's put together? So if everything is normal, this is all set up like it normally would be. We'll take our magazine, and we'll put a little bit of gas in it, just a little bit. Okay, so now there's pressurized gas. Much like the gas is pressurized in here, it's traveled out there, in here, it's now trapped in the magazine, it's pressurized. Then, it goes inside the gun, alright? Now those two bits we talked about, the part in the slide and the part in the magazine, they're matched up. The one on the magazine is actually made of rubber, so they're supposed to form a nice tight seal. Then, we'll cock back the slide, and what that's going to do, in addition to, if there were BBs in here, it would cycle a BB into the firing position. In addition, it cocks the hammer back. It's much more like a real firearm. With an AEG, there's really no cocking. All that stuff you see with cocking AEGs is useless. On the gas blowback, it's actually very important. Then you pull the trigger, and see how the slide cycled back. Now, it's empty right now, so it did what it's supposed to do, where it comes back, completes half of its firing cycle, and catches. But if I were to hold that down with my thumb, the part that's going to actually catch the slide, you can see that goes up and down a little bit. Watch what happens. I can actually fire multiple times, and that's the beauty of the gas blowback gun, is every pull of this trigger is going to deliver a small burst of gas into the slide, push the slide back, push the BB out. And that's the basic idea. Gas that's pressurized inside the magazine is used to do two things. One, initiate the firing cycle of the gun with the slide, which is actually technically unnecessary for BBs, but still looks very convincing. And, you know, myself, I feel that it's very important to the sort of realism of the airsoft gun. And two, a little part of that gas, actually less than you might think, is just going to push that BB right out of the barrel. So that's the basic idea behind gas blowback weapons. I hope this was educational and informative, and please keep your questions coming. Thanks for watching.